Do you sense it? That's right! It's E3 2016! Yeah! Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. I wanted to cover a few things about E3 2016 before we get everything kicked off. So I'm doing a little bit of a pre-show here, sort of a, hey, it's happening, let's talk about what might happen, let's speculate, let's talk about rumors and all that stuff. You know, this year, though, has been, I guess, a little less exciting than previous years have been, because everything is sort of leaking, everything is sort of coming out before the press conferences even get a chance to happen. It's a little disappointing. According to my short list here, you know, Injustice 2 has already been mentioned, so, you know, that's not going to be a surprise at the show. Titanfall 2 has already had a teaser trailer released, which, you know, if you're looking forward to that, it's cool, but, you know, it'd be a lot more fun if it's released at the show, right? And then, of course, Watch Dogs 2, so, you know, it's to me, it's a little disappointing because I like to watch the show and be surprised and excited when it happens on the show, not a couple days before, because then at that point it's like, why even watch, you know? The other big thing that everybody seems to want to talk about are the console updates. So Microsoft is going to have their Scorpio console come out at some point, which is supposedly like an update to the Xbox One, but I don't know if it's a new console, it's a new console, right? Same thing with Sony releasing the PS4K or Neo or whatever the hell it's going to be called. Again, an upgrade, but technically it's just a new console, right? The whole idea is that, you know, the original Xbox One and PS4 will still run and play the games, but the newer versions of the consoles will just run games better or in a different mode or something like that. So really the way to think about it is that the original PS4 and Xbox One, they're just going to be sort of like a legacy console where the new consoles kind of just be backwards compatible with the older games, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really all that excited about it, to be quite honest, but everybody else is. Now, Sony has already mentioned and admitted that they are working on this updated console. Rumors have been crazy for a while, but yeah, they came out and said, yes, we are working on a thing. However, we're not going to be covering it at E3. So that's something to keep in mind for anybody who is holding out for this new console. You're going to have to wait a little bit longer, it looks like. And of course, the other big console that everybody wants to know about, the Nintendo NX, will also not be there. So this is going to be a pretty game-focused E3, it seems like. So tomorrow they're going to kick things off with two conferences already, one from EA, one from Bethesda. I think the EA press conference every year, year after year, is usually the most, I don't know, you want to call it a waste of time? I don't really want to call it that, but it's just the most disappointing. There's not really much that happens there. Considering Titanfall 2 has already been mentioned, as we were just talking about, that was really the only game that they might talk about that I was somewhat excited about. I'm usually excited to see whatever indie games that they're going to talk about as well. Last year, you know, they showed off Unravel with Yarny, the little yarn guy. So it's cool if they're going to be funding some more indie games, but Titanfall 2 seems to be like kind of the front runner here, and that's about it. As far as Bethesda goes, though, they just released the new Doom. And, you know, I can't see them having another huge release coming out because Fallout 4 came out at the end of last year. It's a bit too early for another Elder Scrolls or Fallout game. Again, Doom just came out, so the rumor going around right now is that there's going to be a Wolfenstein 2 announcement, which would be cool. I mean, those games were great. But for some odd reason, according to my notes here, they're going to host a Blink-182 concert, I guess. So, I don't know. Is it 20 years too late for me, I guess, to really get into that. But we'll see. I'll check it out. We'll watch it. We'll see what happens. Maybe Blink will surprise us, play the old school stuff that they started out with. And just like every year, Monday is the big day. There's a ton of conferences going on. We start out with, I think it's Microsoft here. So one of the games that Microsoft, I really hope that they show off is coming from Rare, that I'm excited about, is Sea of Thieves. It's a pirate-themed game. Seems like it has a big online component there. Really excited to see what this game is going to turn out to be. It seems pretty cool, and who doesn't like pirates, right? Now, as I mentioned earlier, Sony has revealed that they're not going to be talking about their new updated PlayStation console. So this might be a good time for Microsoft, since they haven't come out and said anything about it. This might be a good time for them to actually come out and show off their updated console to maybe gain some face, you know, maybe to get ahead of Sony a little bit there, to be like, hey, our console's coming out this fall, guys. Like, Sony's not talking about theirs, but here's the new Scorpio, or whatever the hell it's going to be called. They're probably going to show off the HoloLens as well. Now, the HoloLens is going to be Microsoft's sort of stab at VR here. Not sure what they'll show off, because a few months ago they had the little teaser with a Conker. I forgot what the name of the game was, but they had a game where you play as Conker in augmented reality, and that was really all they showed there. So I imagine they're going to show more of that, but who knows? Maybe they have a killer app for that. That would be nice. Then there's the Ubisoft conference. Now, the Ubisoft conference always has something funny, awkward, weird going on during the show. Whether it's like, weird things going on between cultural differences, cosplay characters not being able to act on camera, whatever the problem is, like awkwardness between Aisha Taylor and her jokes, and people not having any comedic timing whatsoever with her. And so it always ends up being a great show. But there really isn't much going on with Ubisoft, is there? I mean, they've already announced Watch Dogs 2, so, there's that. And then, on top of that, what are they going to talk about? Like, Division stuff? Like, at least I know Division's huge with a lot of people. I haven't played it, like, besides the beta. I'm not really too interested in it, but unless they're going to show off something big, I don't see really much reason to check this one out. Maybe Beyond Good and Evil 2? I wouldn't count on it. Then at some point during the day, they're going to have a PC gaming show. This is a show that's sponsored by PC Gamer. Yeah, I don't know. They're going to obviously have people in to talk about their games, developers who are PC focused primarily. And they'll come in, talk about their games, talk about their experiences in the industry and that kind of thing. But I don't know. I'm not really sure what to expect from this. Hopefully there'll be some cool PC exclusives, but who knows? So then we come to Sony. Now, with Sony, it's interesting because their one exclusive game that was really exciting last year, Horizon Zero Dawn, has already been delayed to next year. So they could show off some gameplay from this game, but again, the game won't be out till next year. So what are they going to have that's exciting for this year? Games delayed, consoles not coming out. What do we got? Well, everybody seems to forget that with the Vive and the Oculus already released, that PlayStation actually has their own, or rather Sony already has their own PlayStation branded VR coming out, the Morpheus, right? I don't know if that's the final name, but that's what they've still been going with, right? I imagine this conference this year is going to talk a lot about this VR headset and kind of go into what makes it stand out from all the other ones. Now, Sony may not be talking about the newest console yet, but I imagine they're probably going to talk about the new PlayStation 4 Slim. I believe Microsoft is going to do this in their conference too, so I think that's the battle that they're going to have going back. Battle of the Slims. Big deal, right? Tuesday is pretty slim as well because it's just Nintendo. Now, this is when Nintendo starts their all-day stream, and on Tuesday specifically, it's going to be nothing but the new Legend of Zelda. Now, this is probably the game that I'm most excited to see. It was promised to come out in 2015. It has now been delayed to 2017 when they said that it would launch alongside the Wii U and the NX. But now there's rumors that the NX has been delayed till late 2017. So I don't know how all this is going to play out with release dates and everything like that. But regardless of all that, I'm really excited to see the gameplay for Legend of Zelda because all we got was a little bit of a teaser there. We saw Shigeru Miyamoto playing with the Legend of Zelda designer, on a horse going through trees and stuff like that. But other than that, there really wasn't much to talk about. So this time there's going to be a lot to talk about. They're going to be streaming the game pretty much all day. They have hour-long demos for people to play at the show. I guess at Nintendo, World of Nintendo New York, the official Nintendo store in New York, they're going to have this same hour-long demo that you can play there. The lines are going to be nuts, so I don't know if I would bother if I was there. But I'm very excited to see some Zelda stuff, that's for sure. So that's how Tuesday's going to go. It's pretty much all Zelda, but Wednesday, I guess they're actually going to be live streaming some other games as well. Some games on the 3DS and that kind of thing. But I'm really hoping that Nintendo's going to have some sort of an ace up their sleeve here, because other than what we just talked about, I mean, that's all they got. I mean, Zelda's great, don't get me wrong. It's going to be a day one purchase for me because I love the series. But, I mean, that can't be all you have, right? They're probably going to show off some of the new Paper Mario that's coming out to the Wii U, but what else is coming? So there you go, everybody. There's a bunch of my pre-show thoughts before the show officially starts tomorrow. And I apologize, I really don't like these pre-shows or any of my discussions about games or whatever to be negative, but I'm not finding a whole lot about this year to be excited about. What I'm really banking on is that there's going to be some stuff during the show, during the 3 or 4 days of the show and all the streaming and everything, that there's going to be some stuff announced that I'm just like, oh, yes, that's what, okay, great. But as of right now, there's only a few things I'm really, really looking forward to, and I don't know, maybe it's me getting older, maybe it's me getting more jaded as I get older, but I just feel like previous years it was a lot more exciting. So yeah, I'm not really sure how to think about this, or how to feel about this before we go into it. But let's hope that there's some cool announcements, huh? That's what I'm gonna go into this hoping for. Well, thanks for joining me, everybody. You'll expect to see more of me pretty much every day this week, as I'm gonna try to recap all the shows, and I might even release a few trailers with my thoughts over them. So I will see you this week.